gaano kalala, no, kailangan maging ang isang bagay para ma-involve ang NBI or FBI, di ba? Or justice. Diba? Gaano kalala, for example, ang isang movie para ma-involve yun? Sa video na ito, papanoorin natin ang isa sa mga kakaibang video na nakita ko dito sa YouTube. Diba? Ito ay pinamagatang The Horror Film So Real? The FBI Investigated It. Okay. So, hindi naman ano ngayon? Hindi naman anong tawag dito? Hindi ito horror special, hindi naman Halloween ngayon, di ba? Pero sobrang na-intriga ako dito. Like, anong movie to and bakit kailangan ma-involve ng FBI? Okay? So, hello, what is up sa inyo lahat, guys? Welcome back sa akin channel. My name is CJ. Para sa mga bago dito at hindi pa nakakakilala sa akin, I make or gumagawa ako ng mga random, no, reaction videos about random things every Sunday. Tapos every Monday and Thursday, nag-upload ako ng gaming content na sa Dragon Nest. Every Tuesday naman is nag-upload ako ng reaction videos about gaming. Now, may it be a physical game, an actual, yung in-person game, or a video game. Tapos every Wednesday naman nag-upload ako ng palit o sulit. Basically, Ragnarok content siya. Pumapasok ako sa different Ragnarok private servers. Tapos tinitignan ko kung ano ba yung meron doon. Okay, every Friday naman wala tayong upload. Wala pa nakaschedule dyan. Every Saturday is paminsan pagka merong big announcement or big update doon sa Ragnarok server na dinedevelop ko, doon ko ina-upload yon. Okay, so ayun yung schedule natin dito sa channel na to. This channel nga pala is gaming channel. Okay? So, ayun ay para sa mga bago dito. Para sa mga matatagal ko ng viewers dyan, hello sa inyo lahat. Pero speaking of viewers, bago natin panoorin yung reaction video na papanoorin natin for today, syempre, gusto ko lamang muna magbigay ng shoutout sa aking mga channel members. No, sila yung mga viewers ko na nag-avail ng channel membership para tulungan yung aking channel or para tumulong sa channel ko financially. So, shoutout kay Fantasy Forged and Desiree Peña. Thank you so much, guys, sa pagpapamember dito sa aking channel. I really appreciate it. So, para sa mga regular viewers ko dyan, if you want to support my channel financially, you can do so by joining the channel membership program. Just click the join button down below to learn more. And if naman, no, wala kayong pampapamember pero gusto nyo sumuport dito sa channel ko, don't worry kasi you can still give support naman via subscribing, like my videos, watch my videos, comment, share, and subscribe. No, yung mga usual stuffs. Diba? So, with all that being said and without any further ado, tara na, punta na tayo. Dito. Ayan, kung makikita nyo, the horror film So Real, the FBI investigated it. Okay? So, let's go.
In the 80s, I was obsessed with tracking down weird videos. Just weird videos and weird films we had seen. And one of the films that came to me was a movie called Guinea Pig. And I promptly made a copy of it. And the FBI said, you need to hand over the original tape.
That is Chris Gore, and the tape he's talking about contained a copy of a Japanese horror film from 1985. Back then, as the founder of the infamous Film Threat magazine, he was always on the lookout for the most obscure movies he could possibly find. And the way to do that was to tap into the somewhat underground world of VHS tape trading.
We were trading tapes with so many people, and then the thing was they would send me their weird tapes. That's how we did all of this.
Those tapes would often contain unauthorized copies of movies from all around the world that were either...
So basically, pirated. Unauthorized copy. So basically, para mo siyang... pinirata mo talaga siya. Kumbaga dun sa CD, binurn mo siya. Tapos, kumbaga inano mo siya. Ano ba tawag dito? Ripped, then burn. Tapos, kumbaga naman sa theater, yung sa cinema, no? Sa sinihan, nirecord mo siya gamit ang camera. Ba? So, pinirata mo nga. So, yeah, unauthorized recording. So, yeah.
Extremely difficult to find or straight up banned in some countries. The kind of stuff you couldn't just find in your local Blockbuster. And while the majority of the movies were just strange or bizarre, one of them felt different.
Okay. I'm listening. I'm super interested. kung anong klaseng movie yun, ano yung ginawa nila, and bakit naman umabot sa point na kinailangan ng ma-involve ng FBI para investigahan yun. Okay. Ay! Oh my God, I'm so sorry na-skip ko yung... I apologize, na-skip ko yung ad, pero sa susunod na ad, hindi natin i-skip yan.
Strange or bizarre, one of them felt different.
Okay.
There was no music, no more than a basic title graphic, and not even the standard practice of opening credits. It almost felt like someone's private home video of a man observing strangers in front of a train station in Tokyo until he eventually sees a young lady and proceeds to stalk her, slowly driving his car behind her, and as soon as they get far away from the busy streets of the city, he chases her down and abducts her.
Yo, what?
The rest of the movie takes place in some creepy makeshift slaughterhouse, and since I cannot possibly show you what happens next, instead, I'll give you some context with, let's just say, dramatic reenactment.
Okay. Eeh! So basically, inano niya, ano ba tawag dyan? May tawag dun yung sa pagtanggal ng ano ba to, ng mga limbs or ng kamay, ng paa. I forgot, pero tinanggal niya. Yun yung process sa yung ginagawa pagka may diabetes ka. Yung tatanggalin yung god damn, nasa dulo ng dila ko eh. I forgot, pero yeah, whatever man. So yun, tinanggalan niya ng limbs. What? So pinatay.
Yeah, all of that happens, and it is shown in great detail with very intricate close-ups right in your face. The point is, it looked real, so much so that people weren't entirely sure if it was actually fiction or something far more sinister.
Okay.
And one of those people was no other than the actor Charlie Sheen. There are a few different accounts of exactly how it happened, but what we know for a fact is that Charlie Sheen saw this movie, and because of him, the FBI got involved.
Okay.
Well, what happened was they took it very seriously. I had all these videos confiscated. I had to be interviewed by the FBI.
Naalala ko na yung hinahanap kong word. Amputate. Okay, inamputate niya. So, bali, pinutol. Inamputate niya. Pero amputate ata is a medical term. I'm not a medical expert. I'm not expert in any field. Pero, you know what? Whatever. Panoorin na natin yung video.
About this video and where I obtained it. The guy who gave me the video got investigated, and it was weird. All I did was just make a copy of a tape and give it to Charlie Sheen.
They weren't the only ones either. Around the same time, a lawyer in Sweden had found that exact same movie and had also reported it to the police. And over in Britain, a man entering the country with a copy of it had gotten arrested and taken to court because of its possession. Clearly, everyone took this extremely seriously. And looking back at it now, you might think it's a little bit silly, right? I mean, supposedly it's just a movie. But the thing is that those concerns were not entirely unwarranted. In his 1971 book about Charles Manson, author Ed Sanders included an interview with a member of his cult who claimed that they had once videotaped a murder they've committed. It is one of the first uses of the term snuff film, or basically a movie which shows real violence. And while no such video involving Charles Manson had ever been found, the urban legends began to spread. With consumer cameras becoming more widely available back in the 70s, people began to speculate that the possibility of someone capturing the real stuff was constantly increasing. And in 1976, after reading an article about it, a marketing-savvy film producer took advantage. He filmed a completely new ending to an unreleased low-budget movie he had the rights to, and in order to promote it, he hired fake protesters to demonstrate against it in theaters, and even reported it to the police himself.
Yo, what?
As soon as they saw it, people could easily tell it wasn't real. But it did make a profit, and more importantly, it brought the idea of snuff into the mainstream. Now, that one was clearly a hoax, but many of the other films that followed continued to push the limits and blur the lines. In 1978, a pseudo documentary called Faces of Death had featured a bunch of different ways to die.
What?
And while the
Dumb
majority
ways
of
to
those
die.
were achieved with practical effects and makeup, there were some real ones too, that the filmmakers had taken from news archives and old war footage. Although it got banned in a number of countries and heavily censored, it grossed over $35 million, and
Ooh.
in some cases, it showed people real death on the big screen.
The end of the beginning or the beginning of the end? I'll leave that decision to you.
Real gore and extreme graphic images were becoming a big debate in society, but the ethics of it were not necessarily the main concern for the authorities. For them, it was crucial to know about how that footage was obtained, because going back to Guinea Pig, the movie that Charlie Sheen had reported, it didn't just show a natural disaster or unfortunate accident, but a very premeditated and vicious crime.
Charlie was so shocked upon watching this film. He was so taken aback, he thought he had witnessed an actual murder.
Yo, what the hell, man? Okay, so mahilig ako sa action movies, okay? And, you know, yung mga gore or yung mga nakakadiring palabas doesn't bother me. Like, alam niyo yung Hills Have Eyes, yung Saw, Purge, what else? The Platform. Basta yung mga nakakadiring movie, like, okay lang sa akin. Yung Human Centipede nga, kaya kong panoorin yun straight up. Diba? Hindi yung, uy, kadiri, hindi ako nagaganon. Kasi, para sa akin, it's just a movie. And halata naman, na movie lang talaga siya. Pero pag yung pinapanood ko, nagbigay sa akin ng feeling na, grabe, parang totoo na yan. Baka doon ako magsimulang umayaw sa mga ganong klase ng palabas. Diba? Kasi, merong something sa atin na alam mo pagka pilit yung sigaw and alam mo pag totoo na yung sigaw. Like, di ba, pag, for example, nagbibiruan kayo ng friends nyo, di ba? Minura ka. Di ba? Minura ka. Malutong din naman, pero alam mong biro lang yon. Tapos meron ding moment na minura ka, malutong, pero alam mong totoo na yung mura niya. Di ba? Gets nyo ba yung ibig ko sabihin? Tapos, syempre, mararamdaman natin yun. Kahit hindi niya sabihin, mararamdaman natin, uy, totoo na yung mura mo, ha? Chill ka lang, nagbibiro lang ako. Kaya nga, di ba, na humihingi tayo ng pasensya, ng patawad, di ba? Kung nasobrahan tayo sa pagbibiro. Di ba? So, wow. Buti hindi ko alam tong palabas na to. And buti hindi pa ako nakakaramdam ng ganon sa mga palabas na pinapanood ko. Oh shit, sorry.
He thought he had witnessed an actual murder.
By the time the FBI got involved, they quickly found out that the authorities in Japan had also investigated, because a few years after its release, it got connected to a murder case that had completely shaken the country. In the late 80s, a 27-year-old man had taken the lives of 4 young girls in Tokyo in a way that I don't even want to describe. The police had found almost 6,000 videotapes in his room, and among the many slasher and snuff films was Guinea Pig. Because of how brutal his crimes were, there was a huge public outrage, and many blamed this kind of movies for encouraging and inspiring him.
Okay.
And as a result, the movie was taken off the shelves. So with all the controversy surrounding it and multiple investigations from all around the world, the main question remains: was it snuff or fiction?
All this hellish, unhealthy, violent activity, our kids are seeing this and thinking it's normal.
To find the answer, we need to go back to 1985. Around that time in Japan, the straight-to-video market had experienced a rapid growth. As a result of the increased popularity of VHS tapes that people could just buy directly, smaller filmmakers were able to produce low-budget movies with almost no censorship and significantly less restrictions compared to theatrical releases. That allowed directors to push the boundaries a lot, and considering that horror as a genre was already huge in Japan, they certainly did. So, inspired by all this, a young producer would set on to create something that would push the envelope even further. And just like that, the Guinea Pig series was born.
Series?
The first one, Devil's Experiment, he directed himself, and a text in the beginning claimed that it is a real found footage. There were no credits, no title, and nothing that would break the illusion. All that was shown was basically someone being tortured for 40 minutes straight, and the whole shtick about it being authentic worked. The movie did really well on the VHS rental market, so naturally, it was time for part 2, the one that Charlie Sheen had seen, Flower of Flesh and Blood. For this one, however, he got the help of the prominent manga artist Hideshi Hino. Sometimes referred to as the king of horror manga, Hideshi Hino had built a reputation for his deeply unsettling, grotesque, and borderline terrifying images. This was going to be his very first movie as a director, an entirely new creative medium to him that he wanted to bring a certain level of artistry to. He wanted to elevate it, so instead of it just being straight up gore, he incorporated a tiny bit of narrative. Something that might have gotten lost in translation, because in the very beginning, he lays out the premise that a crazy fan of his horror manga had gotten inspired from it and committed this heinous crime, and had sent him a package with photos, videos, and a letter describing it in great detail. But it was so graphic that he couldn't show it to us. So instead, what we're seeing is his own artistic interpretation. You can feel that there is a style in some of the editing, the colors, the cinematography, and even down to the over-the-top sound effects.
その後に何か見た人がだからただそれだけじゃないそれから先のね何かをこうイマジネーションしてくれれば面白いんじゃないかなと思うんですけどね。
As opposed to everyone else, Hideshi Hino had never claimed that what was shown was real, but he had done such a good job at making it look convincing that to some people, it was. A year later, the filmmakers released some behind-the-scenes footage and showed exactly how it was done. They've experimented with different techniques, materials, wire work, practical effects, and have created over 50 different body parts until they got it just right. It is genuinely a really good showcase of practical effects, if you're into that kind of stuff, of course.
Yo, wala pa akong masabi sa ngayon. Kasi, you know, I got the idea. Pero, nakakatakot lang. Diba? Ngayon napapaisip ako. Doon sa mga... Kasi hindi naman natin alam eh. Yes, merong behind the scenes footage, ganito, ganyan, blah, blah, blah. Pero, doon sa inspiration nung writer or nung director or nung kung sino man, 'di ba? Like ano yung nag-inspire sa kanya na gawin yung ganung klase ng story? Like based ba sa kanyang real life experience? Based ba sa nakwento sa kanya? Yung mga ganon, 'di ba? Kung based yun sa real life experience niya, that's ibang level ng ano na yun, ng nakakatakot, 'di ba? Especially kung siya yung gumawa. Oh my God, man.
Showcase of practical effects, if you're into that kind of stuff, of course. The backlash surrounding it, though, had permanent consequences. In a 2009 interview with Vice, Hideshi Hino shared that because of everything that had happened, the production of his first feature film got cancelled, and it also affected his work as an artist. After talking to the police, he also claimed that what they had found in the serial killer's collection was not his, but a later installment in the Guinea Pig series. In the same interview with Vice, Hideshi Hino recalls a time in which a journalist asked a film critic if this sort of video is really necessary in the world, to which he replied, "No, absolutely not." And it got me thinking. As I was researching the story, I kept asking myself, what is it exactly that draws us into this kind of extreme horror? On one hand, you have people who are very much against it because they argue that it could give us the wrong ideas. And there are some cases that support that claim. Remember Faces of Death, the pseudo-documentary that showed people dying? Well, in 1986, a 14-year-old boy killed his classmate and claimed that he got the idea for it precisely because he saw that movie.
What the hell?
Whether that is an isolated case or a real issue, I'm not smart enough to say. I'm sure someone will have a better answer than me.
We don't know the extent to which exposure to this kind of material results in actual violent behavior. What we do know is that exposure to this kind of material results in a more calloused person, a less sensitive person.
And on the other hand, people can argue that it's morbid curiosity.
They know it's entertainment, they know it's special effects, they get together, they have little parties, they watch these movies, they have a good time. I don't think they're really seeing the undercurrents that a lot of paranoid parents are seeing. If the world be a better place because there weren't horror films, there weren't explicit stalk and slash films, and the world would be at peace, well then burn all the negatives of every horror film ever made, if that's going to be kind of a guarantee, but it isn't.
It is us facing our own mortality, and to bring it full circle, here's a quote from Film Thread, the magazine from the beginning that sort of started this whole story, which says that it somehow makes us feel alive. We like feeling alive, and we like to feel like we're cheating death by watching movies like that.
Okay, I don't know about dun sa statement dun, pero yeah, whatever. Yeah, so closing remarks, closing thoughts, no? Dito sa pinanood natin. Okay. So, sabi dun, di ba? Kumbaga parang, gaano, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Full ka. Yeah. So, sabi dun, di ba parang, gaano kagrabe or gaano katagal ba yung exposure na kailangan mo para kumbaga para gawin mo yung ginagawa dun sa palabas, 'di ba? Ano ba yung benchmark, 'di ba? Kasi ako, well, I'm not that exposed. Kasi napakarami pang horror film na hindi ko pa napapanood. Pero yung mga ibang horror film na sikat naman, like yung mga gore, yung mga ganon, napanood ko na rin naman. 'Di ba? Napanood ko na yung Final Destination, napanood ko yung Hills Have Eyes, napanood ko yung Wrong Turn, napanood ko yung Saw, 'di ba? Napanood ko yung what else? Yung mga kadiring palabas. Basically napanood ko na yun, pero never once in my life, 'di ba? Na pumasok sa isip ko na gawin ko kaya yan. No. Never siyang pumasok sa isip ko, never ako na curious na ano ba yung feeling pag ginawa yan, ano yung feeling pag sa'yo ginawa yan, ano ba yung kakahinatnan pagka tinry kong gawin yan. Never ako nagkaroon ng ganung thoughts, diba? I'm just watching the movie, tapos pagka may jump scare na talagang nag-trigger sa akin, or hindi man nag-trigger pero yung nakapagpakaba sa akin, hindi nagugulat talaga ako. Di ba? Pero hindi ako yung para mag-isip na, ano kaya yan? Di ba? Ano kaya feeling yan? Never ako na-curious sa ganong klase ng mga movie. Di ba? Naka-curious ako pagka nanonood ako ng movie, pagka science fiction. Like for example, yung Harry Potter. Di ba? Ang curiosity ko pagdating sa mga ganyang movies, like for example, Harry Potter, is what if totoo ang Harry Potter or totoo ang wizarding world, 'di ba? Sobrang concealed lang talaga niya and sobrang anonymous or sobrang tagong-tago kaya hindi natin alam. For example naman sa action movies, 'di ba? Yung Mission Impossible, what if, 'di ba? I believe merong special agents, yung mga government agencies like FBI, NBI, mga ganyan. Meron yan special agents, di ba? Pero what if yung isang taong nakasalubong mo diyan na akala mo normal special agent na pala yun? Anong gagawin mo? Tapos ikaw ang isa sa mga unfortunate civilian na nadamay, di ba? Ganong klase ng curiosity lang. Pero hindi yun to the point na gagawin ko yun, no. Kaya sa tingin ko, this is just my opinion. Yung mga tao na gumagawa ng mga ganon, sinasabi nila, na ginaya ko lang yan sa movie. Di ba? Is meron silang something sa kanilang pag-iisip. Okay, I'm not an expert sa kahit anong field. That's just my opinion. Okay, kasi kung okay ka mag-isip, hindi mo yan gagawin. Okay? Sabihin na natin, yes, curious ka, pero may hangganan yung curiosity mo. Hindi para gawin yung ganong klase ng bagay. Okay? So, nasagot ba yung tanong dito sa movie or sa video na pinanood natin? Totoo ba yon or snuff film lang? Diba? Well, sabi naman is parang entertainment lang talaga siya, diba? Parang pinakita naman yung behind the scene. Pero doon ako nagtaka or doon ako napaisip, what if, diba? Yung iba sa mga horror films talaga na nire-release based sa experience ng writer 'di ba? Whether yung writer yung nakaranas or siya mismo yung gumawa. 'Di ba? What if ganon? Yun ang disturbing para sa akin. 'Di ba? Kasi nakikita mo yung real life events na nangyari. Anyway, so that is it for the video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. As usual, if you like the video, please hit the like button and also comment kayo sa comment section down below. Let me know, guys, what you think about this movie. And also, let me know, fan ba kayo ng horror movies? Horror film? Diba? Ano sa tingin nyo? Ano yung mga gusto nyo? Or if hindi naman, just let me know what you think about this video. Tapos, comment din kayo pala sa comment section down below. Let me know if meron kayong suggestion na video na gusto nyo panoorin natin sa next week. Okay? So, thank you so much, guys, for watching. Once again, if you like this video, hit the like button, share nyo yung video na to para sa iba. Tapos, subscribe kayo sa akin channel for more videos coming out in the future. Yung original video links nasa description down below, as well as yung aking Discord server invite link. Tapos, guys, if you want to support my channel financially, you can do so by joining the channel membership program. Just click the join button down below to learn more. So, once again, guys, my name is CJ and I will see you all in my next video. Thanks so much, guys, for watching.